What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today's video is kind of on the more somber side of things, just because, I wanted to take this opportunity to really celebrate the life and musicianship of Joey Jordison of Slipknot. Now, I wasn't a big, Slipknot fan. I had heard a few songs here and there, and the one thing that really stuck out to me was that, the drummer was like, dang, that guy's pretty good. And as a matter of fact, Joey Jordison was kind of the thing that kind of pulled me into Slipknot. Nevertheless, I know he was a heck of a drummer, and that's why I wanted to go ahead and do this video. I know I'm a little late to the party, but it's just been kind of crazy on my end. But enough about that. Like I said, today we're going to take a look at Joey Jordison. I am working on a duality reaction, but it just didn't feel right to do that one before giving a proper tribute, a proper celebration of Joey. So I will get to Slipknot as a whole, as a band, along with Joey in duality, but I wanted this one to just be nothing but Joey Jordison, nothing else. And I found this cool little, I guess you'd call it a clip. It's a 2-minute clip of Joey. It says Joey Jordison, the master of drums. It looks like he's in the studio or something, so looks like it's too short to be a song or anything, but maybe it's a compilation or something. But yeah, I really wanted this to be about him and nothing else. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Today is the first day of my session that I'm doing for the Roadrunner All-Stars 25th anniversary, and right now I'm taking you guys to the studio that I'm working out of. It looks like it's gonna storm like a motherfucker. Welcome to Iowa. Handicap spot.
Man,
Here we are.
this guy seems awesome. I used to hang out in the rocker world, so he reminds me he's just got that feel.
What's up, man? Yeah. This is our engineer, Matt Sapanic. He helps me with a lot of stuff here.
I don't know, just genuine, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Look at all that gear everywhere. I love it. Well, that sounds nice. Oh, look at that. It's clean. Nice. Nice sextuplet runs. Oh no, is that it? Man, that was actually a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. I guess because it was a whole minute of exposition. I don't know. I think that's still a pretty good sample. I got to see him just kind of riffing a little bit. It wasn't very long. I wish he had just riffed for longer. I know as drum set players, I used to do it. I mean, you could sit for hours and just play a bunch of different stuff, and usually it's not quite as polished as what we saw here, because these kinds of riff sessions are meant to work out ideas. It really doesn't always sound very good. But I don't know, the first big thing that really popped out to me, it reminded me a lot of high school, when we were all very young musicians, and there were a lot of musicians, some maybe not as good as others. I remember really being turned off because at that time, I wasn't into the heavy metal stuff, not really. So I remember being turned off by some of this music just by having friends that played drum set that didn't quite put the attention to to the craft that maybe they should have. So it just sounded like a lot of noise to me. For example, Joey played a blast beat in there. At least that's what that's what I thought. That's what I think it's called. I'm telling you, I'm not in the heavy metal drum set world, but when I would hear other drummers in high school play blast beats, it was nowhere near that clean. You know, it sounded like, and I think I've mentioned this before, but it sounded like they were just trying to go as fast as possible. Here, Joey, you can clearly tell that there's a meter to the blast beat, and it's like, wow, that actually sounds pretty good. It's kind of cool, and it showcases speed, but it also showcases, you know, meter. And that being said, you know, like, he was throwing some licks around all over the drum set that are much more polished versions of what I used to hear back in high school. And to be honest, and to be fair, we're young. You know, in high school you think, oh yeah, you guys are pretty decent musicians, but you actually don't start getting very good until after high school. And it happens in everything. I mean, you go to college, you get better, and then of course, once you're out of high school, you start playing gigs. You know, even if you're not in college music, if you're not in the music world, you know, you're more like on the music scene and you're playing gigs and playing local shows. That's when you start getting better. And that's when I noticed that drum set players were like, hey, you know, that's not bad. That sounds pretty good. But yeah, a lot of his stuff is just so much cleaner than I'm used to, that I remember hearing. Even in the local scene when I was playing it, it wasn't this clean. And obviously Joey was a pro, so you don't get to that level usually without knowing what you're doing. Another thing that kind of stuck out to me, and probably the last thing, I know sometimes the fun of these videos is watching them, and maybe I'll kind of go back and kind of showcase what I'm talking about here. But one thing that I noticed was just his sheer speed of his drumming, which I think is one of his big assets. And it warms my heart to see, you know, higher level musicians using the techniques that we teach in high school and stuff to do exactly what it is that we're trying to do. So for example, his hand speed is fast, and he's pretty much just, you know, using fingers to get that hand speed out. And then his feet are quick as well. But the thing about a drum set kick pedal is that there are different zones for the kick pedal and what you're trying to do with it. If your foot is closer to the end of the pedal, there's a lot of more distance that you have to travel, you know, because this, you know, it has to go this far. So your foot has to go more. You have to use more distance to play. So that's kind of in line with what we teach, you know, distance and physics and stuff like that. So from here, it's going to be way harder to play fast, as opposed to bringing the foot back and then hitting it here. You know, if you were to imagine this as I don't know what this is. For me, it looks like an accent, a backwards accent. But from here to here, the distance is much further away. So if you're kicking here, you know, it's not going to, you have all this distance to travel. If you move your foot back to here, then here to here, the distance is much shorter than from here to here. So that's why he can play much faster. And I think it's so cool to actually see it being utilized. Let me see here. Since it was such a short video, let me kick it back here, see if I can find where that happens. So here we got the finger work. It's so slight. Like, a lot of that is finger work. Nice ghost notes. Here we go. You see his toe? It's way back off of the pedal. And I think it's super cool. I love here, you know, come into a little pocket groove. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to go back and kind of showcase that little section. This has been a weird video. It's a little bit different, but yeah, I really wanted to just focus on Joey and really, you know, celebrate great musicians, because I don't think it happens enough, which is the whole point of this channel, just to celebrate great musicianship. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video, maybe learned something. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.